We actually calculated our average cost for groceries. We're spending roughly around 5. However, you can definitely cut some costs down using
The total for the minimum monthly cost is...
Hi there, wondering how much money you need to live in Greece?
In this video, we want to talk about the minimum amount of money that you need to cover your basic needs.
What's the starting point to cover the main expenses? We've been to the same struggle ourselves and couldn't find this information easily, so we're passing it along to hopefully help you.
We live in Crete, so we calculated the basic cost for a couple living in Crete based on our experience and research.
On top of that, we'll cover not just the minimum expenses, but also the average cost, in case budget living is not for you. This will help you get an idea about what's the minimum amount of money you actually need, what's the starting point. Obviously, expenses can be much higher depending on your situation.
Let's start with one of the biggest expenses, rent. Searching for rent off-season is the best option. There are fewer tourists and more choices. During peak times like summer, Airbnbs can limit your options. You can check out SUDOTACK, real estate websites, and local Facebook groups for listings. Comment below if you're interested in more tips on how to find a rent. We can make a video on this topic in the future.
For minimum cost, expect around 400 euros per month for basic amenities. For the average option, you're looking at around 600 euros per month. This might offer you more space, a central location, sea view, more shops nearby, or things like extra furniture and appliances. The lifestyle you have will determine how much you will actually pay. It will be different for everyone, depending on your situation and needs.
So in the 400 range, you can find a one-bedroom
or a studio. In this case, you're looking at something maybe in the villages or the nearby areas around the cities, so don't expect to find this kind of prices in the main cities.
Yeah, and you have to look for these kind of prices in off-season or in the winter.
And also expect to find most of these apartments or flats empty. The majority of them don't offer things like washing machine, appliances, so in many cases you have to buy these things yourself.
When you're looking at the average one, on 600 you can find a very nice one-bedroom.
In this case, you will have furniture, you will have the basic appliances. Obviously, it's not a villa with a pool. We're not talking about these things. We are looking again at the basic needs, so you can find something very decent in the 600 price range. Another important expense, utilities. These costs can vary based on where you live, how energy efficient your place is, and your personal habits. Be ready for higher bills in the summer for AC and in the winter for heating. The main utilities here are the electricity, the water, and the heating system.
A rough estimate for the minimum cost is around 80 euros per month. And for the average cost, expect something around 150 euros.
It's very important when you choose your rental
to see the heating system or the cooling one, if you are on a higher level or if you are on a basement, because this will impact how you can heat or cool down the place, so you have to do a bit of research. The next expense, groceries. Just a heads up, we're only talking groceries here, not things like clothes and gadgets. These are just rough estimates, so your actual spending might be different based on what you like and where you shop. Also, prices can be higher in tourist spots and big cities.
For a minimum cost, think about 500 euros per month. For the average cost, if you want some extra treats, you're looking at around 800. Keep in mind that we are referring to the groceries that you need for cooking at home, for the personal hygiene.
Not to eat at tavernas, not to buy pre-cooked food.
We're covering the basic needs, the basic produce. In order to give you these examples, we actually calculated our average cost for groceries. So we made a list with everything we buy in order to make a roughly estimate for you. If you want to see that list and where this pricing comes from, drop a comment and we can leave it there. We're spending roughly around 500 euros a month. One thing to consider is that we have a really healthy diet, so we don't eat any snacks, processed food in general. So we are on a low-carb diet. This is really an option to consider for some people, although we totally understand it's not for everyone and most of the people would be more in the average cost option. Next on our list is transportation. If you really want to experience what this beautiful island has to offer, you might need a car. However, you can definitely cut some costs down. Using public transportation, getting around using a scooter, or renting something just when you need it is also an option. Keep in mind that fuel is expensive here, around 2 euros per liter. Also, costs will vary depending on what car you drive, the distance you travel, and things like that. Think about what suits you best.
If you own a car, for a minimum cost, we're looking at 190 euros per month. And for an average cost, expect around 350. Owning a car is definitely a big advantage, but
It brings up some extra expenses, and especially some of the expenses that you don't expect, like when the car breaks down and you have to pay a lot for the maintenance.
also insurance and road tax. If you want to cut some cost, there are some other options, like a bike, like scooter, or just the public transport. Another expense, internet. This is a basic need, right? I don't know anyone that doesn't have it. In Crete, it's usually pretty reliable. In big cities like Heraklion and Hania, the internet is fast, averaging around 400 megabytes. Plus, you can get faster and more stable connection. But in rural areas, it's a bit different. Sometimes you'll need a special router with a SIM card for Wi-Fi. The speed might be slower and the connection not as steady, but it gets the job done.
For home internet, the minimum cost is 30 euros per month, and the average cost is 50 for a better speed. If you're looking at mobile plans, you have two options. A prepaid SIM that you top up monthly, and then you can choose from the options available from the provider, or make a contract. It usually gets you a better deal for unlimited data. For two people, the minimum cost would be around 30 euros, and average cost would be around 60. We try to give you something relatable, something useful and up to date, to the best of our knowledge and experience. Please leave a comment if you have something to add.
Share your opinion on this. This might be useful, especially if you think we left something out.
We love reading and replying to your comments. Thank you for all your messages and warm welcoming.
Now let's see the big reveal after adding all the expenses. The total for the minimum monthly cost for a couple living in Crete is 1,230 euros, and the average cost is 2,010.
Something to keep in mind is that there are extra expenses that we didn't include in this category, like medical insurance, your Netflix membership, gym membership, entertaining, activities, eating out, hobbies, clothing, beauty services, and so on. Your personal situation can change the cost completely. Maybe you have kids or you're single. These are factors that will influence your living cost.
And don't forget about unexpected expenses. Make sure to have some savings for the things that might come up, like getting sick, your car breaks down, your fridge doesn't work. You get the idea.
Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.